June 1986. The Cold War is escalating and the North Atlantic has become a silent battlefield. Soviet submarines, armed and ready for war, are attempting to break through NATO's defenses and reach the open Atlantic. Their mission is to sever the transatlantic lifeline and cripple NATO's ability to wage war. In response, NATO has launched Operation Atlantic Shield. A network of submarines, surface ships and reconnaissance aircraft has been deployed to the GIUK Gap, the choke point between Greenland, Iceland and the United Kingdom. If these submarines break through, NATO supply lines to Europe will be at the mercy of the enemy. Time is critical. NATO has just 6 hours to stop the Soviet advance. If they fail, Soviet submarines will slip through the gap and wreak havoc on NATO's fleets and supply routes. Soviet forces have deployed a formidable array of submarines. Charlie-class guided missile subs, Victor-class attack submarines and the fearsome Alpha-class, known for its incredible speed and depth capabilities. They are determined to push through NATO's defenses, and nothing will stand in their way. NATO's finest submarines are now tasked with hunting the Soviet force. Silent, stealthy and lethal, these vessels are the last line of defense standing between the Soviet submarines and the open Atlantic. Armed with advanced torpedoes and supported by air and surface assets, they must engage the enemy quickly and decisively. In the next 6 hours, the fate of the North Atlantic will be decided. NATO must stop the Soviet wave, or the Atlantic will be lost. Hey there, welcome to Sea Power, Operation Atlantic Shield. We're in command of various NATO assets as the entire Soviet submarine force has decided to try and break through the GIUK gap in one swoop. The situation is kind of developing as we have 3 different search grids. We have Search Area 1, which is contained by Baltimore and Indianapolis. At least that's my hope. Search Area 2 is being handled by the submarine La Jolla. She's getting assistance from a P3C. With this, I can definitely hunt down submarines that get detected by La Jolla quickly. And of course, the P3C also has its own level of sonobuoys. Finally, closer to the southeast, we have the Farian, an Oliver Hazard Perry class, sorry, not a destroyer, it's a frigate. Not particularly capable as an anti-submarine platform all by itself, but it does come with a couple of helicopters. And those definitely give me options. There's going to be a lot happening in this scenario. I'm going to try to cover everything as best I can. And for that, I'm going to first make the tactical display a little bigger this time around. Because I need to keep an eye basically on 3 separate missions at the same time. Now, as for the Baltimore and the Indianapolis, we're doing 5 knots with each of these subs. I want to have the towed array deployed. I want you to head north. I want you to continue heading southeast. I want you to have the towed array deployed. Do we have a layer? We have a layer at 410 feet. We're going to go below the layer with the Indianapolis. We're going to go above the layer, which is essentially where we are, with the Baltimore. Search Area 2, La Jolla. I want their towed array also deployed. I'm going to have the P3C start dropping sonobuoys. We're going to do that more or less closer to the La Jolla, so that if the La Jolla is capable of engaging, we already have those torpedoes. But of course, the torpedoes from the Mark 46... Sorry, the torpedoes the Mark 46 is carried by the P3 are a little bit more flexible. They'll arrive sooner, but they don't pack nearly the same punch that the Mark 48s from the La Jolla can deliver. So let's have you start to deploy a couple of sonobuoys. I'll do that sort of in an expanding spiral this time around, as it was suggested by one of my subscribers. One of my viewers, rather. And this way, hopefully, I'll be able to keep an eye on all of those sonobuoys. To the southeast, Farian. Time to launch 2 helicopters. I want to have them in separate flights. I want to have you stream your towed array. The towed array is going to be below the layer, and we're going to deploy that. I'm going to be sailing north. We're going to do that all ahead 1/3, and hopefully not get detected by submarines in Search Area 3. Now, as you might have heard in the mission briefing, there is a bit of a hitch. Search Area 1 is threatened. There is a Tupolev in the area. It's basically the counterpart, the Russian counterpart to the P3C. There is something that I'm not too sure about, and that's just how well the enemy air force, or rather the enemy airplanes, are capable of using their ASW capabilities. Will they actually drop sonar buoys close or closer to the Indianapolis and the Baltimore, or are they just going to circle? I'm not sure. I'm really hoping it's the former. I'm really hoping that they're going to make an effort. But at the moment, I simply don't know. As for this this frigate, she is armed with a couple of different options. We have a bunch of Mark 46s. Unfortunately, we do not have an ASROC. So we don't have a very quick way to deliver torpedoes other than either rushing the ship over, which comes with a whole host of difficulties, or using the helicopter and trying to get the helicopter to drop its torpedoes. The way that I have set this scenario up is there is a random chance for several submarines to spawn, both mine and theirs, and I only have 6 hours. So when the clock strikes 4 p.m, the mission is ended, or 1600 if you want to follow NATO clocking. So we have a bit of a timer here, and let's start dropping some sonar buoys. Now you might be going, oh, you know exactly where the submarines are. No, I don't. If only it were that easy. But then again, that would make it quite boring. Okay, this search grid is way too big. It's going to take you 5 hours to get there? How far away is that? Then again, that's... Right, okay. Now, it is possible that I will not find the submarines. That is definitely something that can happen to you in this scenario. And I think that's good. I think that'll make it more interesting. Because this is supposed to be a replayable mission, and if you always know exactly where the enemy submarines are going to be, it's just going to be a bore. Oh, hold on. You already have something, Varian? Wow, how did you pick that up? On your own towed array? Now, judging by sound propagation, this thing could be anywhere. Yeah, we got the passive sonar from the Perry. Okay, so the whole search grid is just going to go right out the window. We're going to drop a sonar buoy there and there, and try and triangulate this signal. The second helicopter is also going to help out in that fashion. I want you to go over there and drop a sonar buoy there. It is possible that this thing is very far away, simply by how sonar works, but that's a bit too complex to handle in this particular video. I do have a video linked down below, that is if I remember to place it down there, where you can find more about sonar, because Enigma did a very good video about that. As you can see, I'm going to be scrolling between all these scenarios quite a bit. As for the area here, you can see that it's going to take the Baltimore 5 hours just to make this little trip. The Indianapolis is going to take 5 hours just getting there. But the Soviets are somewhere in the search area and they're going to head towards southwest. So that's at least the information that I have. I'm going to have you head northwest. And basically troll along with the Baltimore, hoping to find a fish. As for the fish over here, let's speed up the delivery of some sonar buoys and figure out if we can get a bit more information about this thing. Varian, turn northwest. We don't have him anymore. Oh, it could be a NATO sub. Right. That's not that likely, though. There are no neutral submarines in this scenario. They're either blue or they're red. That's going to make it a little bit more convenient. If you want to play this scenario, that is depending on when you want to watch this video, that is. It is on the Steam Workshop, linked down below in the description, where you can find this mission, so you can download it as a mod, subscribe to it, and thus play it for yourself. Good hunting. As for hunting, first sonar buoy is about to go into the water. Very curious if we're going to hear this guy again. Or if he's, like, way over there. As for the rest, I don't need the formation menu, but I do need this. Sometimes these helos do some really, well, odd dances as they're dropping their sonar buoys off. The sonar buoy is not detecting. We've completely lost them. I don't like that. Varian, turn back to your previous course. Because I want to know if we can acquire that thing again. Drop it a little closer. And we'll lose all the information from the other buoy, which will happen if I go outside of range, which is 15 miles. There's the towed array from the Indianapolis. Towed array from Baltimore, also getting streamed. There we go. Second buoy's away. Other buoys away. These helos just tend to just hover then. Not picking up anything. So that leads me to believe that they might not be very close, but in fact quite far. Yes, it's 46 miles to get there. So you're going to drop some sonar buoys here. No, come on. Here. There, there, there. You. I'm going to drop them here. Here, here, here. I do trust the bearing at which we detected the submarine, or at least the passive contact. I just don't exactly know where. So that's going to be down to my sea sprites to figure out. Over here we have the P3, which is just starting its own drop sequence. And the first sonar buoy should be getting into the water right about now. I believe that this is their first spot. La Jolla loitering at 85 feet. Okay. Over in the north, nothing happening. In case you're wondering, why did you put up 3 missions at the same time? Well, I thought that'd be a nice challenge. Just give the player, whether it's you or me, a lot to do in a very short span of time. That's the plan. Just try and do a bunch of, let's say, more macro management, or micromanagement in more different locations at the same time. I'm starting to feel like this P3 doesn't know what it's doing. Oh, the Farian has it again. Yeah, it's getting detected by the Farian. It's doing 16 knots, heading 035? Interesting. It should be going southwest, not northeast. Maybe they forgot their toothbrush and they're heading back home. Anyway, we're going to deploy these sonar buoys in different spots now. Come here. Drop it there. I'm surprised that they're being so noisy. They're quite deep at 550. What sort of information do we have about it? Can be any number of things. Our confidence is growing, so we're slowly but steadily learning more about this particular contact. What are you? Potentially more importantly, where are you? Oh, their course is changing, 343. I think their course information is just very vague at this point. We don't know what that thing is doing. Are you just being buggy or something? Or can you not fly circles? Is that the problem? Oh, we got him. We know it's a hostile submarine. Question is, what? It's an Alpha or a Victor 1 or 2? Okay. Do we have him on the sonar buoy yet? No, we still only have him on the passive from the Perry. So from the frigate here. That's interesting. If we can back this guy in the first 30 minutes, that'd be great. I think that buoy away that we heard was the P3. Yeah, the P3C just dropped a buoy. That ellipsis is definitely getting smaller. I have seen a couple of questions going, hey, how can you influence what these sonar buoys do? You can't. You cannot set their height or their depth or whether they're active or passive. It's just you drop a sonar buoy, this thing comes up, and that's pretty much it. So, judging by how deep that is, I'd say it's more likely to be above the layer than below. Whether they're able to drop and detect below the layer, I don't know. Okay, the P3 is now finally starting to do what I want it to do. I'm going to skip this area, because that's the search grid that the Lahola can cover. Oh, hello. Oh, we got one. Originating from the P3's location. Okay, we're just going to let that contact develop for a little bit. Over here, we're definitely getting some more info. Go here. You're on station, standing by. Do we have them on multiple sensors yet? No, just the Perry. Again? Okay, we know it's a sub type. An Echo 2 or a November. That's going to be about 40 miles, 30 to 40 miles away, which means that my Mark 48s are not in range. I have a 20-mile range. Let's put a range circle down so that I know that this thing has a 20-mile range on the torps. There.
On station.
And ideally, you do hunt them a little closer than that, because otherwise they just turn around, they run, and your torpedo still runs out of energy. Let's try and overfly this thing. Go to 20 feet. Use the mat, and we should be able to get a perfect location on it. As for the range to the Farian, it's 25 miles out. I think the Farian is still... It's still the only unit that's actually detecting this submarine. As much as I wanted to try and turn around, I can't. If I turn the Farian around now, I might lose the contact. Oh, we lost the contact, actually. Put a marker down. A ruler. A ruler's fine. It's kind of heading that way. 242. Close enough. Over here. Okay, new plan. You're going to head towards that contact. You're going to drop a buoy here and here. And there. I want to see if I can kind of get a triangulation on that signal. Northwest, nothing happening. Okay, we're going to do sprint and drift. I'm going to go to a deep position, so below the layer. Oh, sorry, the thermal layer here is 261. Never mind. We're going to do all ahead standard. And we're going to go just a little bit of ways up the road, if you will, and then slow down again. As for you, you're still getting hunted by the P3. Come here. You're overflying. Excellent. Continue the hunt. I'm really hoping it's still going to be more or less inside this ellipsis. Otherwise, it might be heading southwest. Oh, we got him. Hello, Victor. There you are. Not sure why he's doing 15 knots. He's definitely trying to hightail it out of the area here. Okay. We're up to 200 feet. And how do we get a perfect information on him? Passive sonar from a sonobuoy. Excellent. So we know exactly where this guy is. As for the other one, we have a very good idea of where he is. Oh, and we got another one. There's another noise over there. 2 submarines currently being hunted. Okay, dude. We're gonna drop this torpedo right on top of your head. Because previously I have seen a lot of torpedoes do all sorts of weird and wonky things. And causing complete misses. Hold on, I need to mark this guy up. You're doing a course 228. Ruler, course 228. So you're kind of heading in that direction. As for you, you're doing a course 248. So you're going to go kind of there. Seeing as there's no friendlies, we're just going to engage this guy. Back to the other one. One mile. He's at 110 feet, so he's not terribly deep. Point 8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4. Drop it. What the? Did you just yeet that torpedo out the window or something? What sort of animation was that? Okay. This torpedo... Oh! When I said right on top of him, I meant it, but... yeah. Well, it's on top of him. That's for sure. Range to the Farian. We should be fine. Now, I'm going to pause it for a second and switch over to this. Because we also got a Mark 46 in the water here. Or at least about to be. I'm going to have another sonar buoy get deployed here. Oh, we have him. The Mark 46 is tracking something. Something that has a nice little trail behind it. Active. We're going to have 2 torpedoes hit at the same time. I can't cover both of that. New passive contact. Designate 7007. Says a sonar buoy. Okay. He's trying to make a break for it, but I don't think that's going to work. There's the noisemaker. Too late. Hit. Okay, so he's hit. Pausing. Switching back to the other guy. I think our Victor is a bit of a slippery customer here. So he deployed a bunch of noisemakers behind him. Where is he? Yeah, you can see all the noisemakers over there. No, that's a sonar buoy. Give me a torpedo. That's more like it. Give me the other helo. I want you to start flying back and getting some additional weaponry. Navigate. Orders, return to base. They're circling, but they're not going the right way. Do we have another contact? Because there was another one. I think this one, 7012, is one of the noisemakers. Because they're all popping up here. Yeah, they're 7012. We also had another sonar buoy, 7011. Yeah, so that's all those noisemakers that we're picking up. The P3C hit the other track. That's in search area 2. Over here. He's doing 1 knot. So he's alive. Let's try and unalive him as best we can. If I want to get this P3 over to the other search area, that would probably be a heck of a travel. I do have the range, as indicated by the blue circle. But how far away is that? Give me a ruler. Yeah, that's about 500 miles. Okay, so that's going to be difficult. Not impossible, but yeah. Not great. I thought I told you to drop a torpedo in the water. This guy's doing 90 feet. 80. What you doing, dude? Are you coming up for air? 60? 58. Holding at 58. Don't have a visual on him. He's holding at 58. No speed. Propulsion probably got knocked out. Engage that. Noisemakers don't tend to move. This thing did shift a bit. Get ready. Manually drop that torpedo, because sometimes the AI just drops a bit far. There's the Victor 2. Oh no, not that again. This is the dead, or let's say sort of dead submarine bug, where it's entirely possible that I'll not be able to engage that guy again. Simply because it's kind of stuck in an animation where it tries to do an emergency blow, and it's sinking, so it's in limbo. And in case you're going, as somebody did a while ago, saying, oh, this game is so buggy. No, you just saw the same bug again. Hello, Victor. This Mark 46 has the right idea, but this Victor is proving to be difficult. All sorts of noisemakers there. Give me a buoy first. Yep, there's more noisemakers. Lovely. So we're almost on top of this guy. Right? There's the noisemakers. There's the helo. So you're very close. Still have 2 torpedoes on this sea sprite, and the other one is RTB. Okay. Multiple hostile contacts, really? Oh, that might be the sono... No, sorry, the noisemakers that we're detecting. Come on, Torp. I expect great things from you. There's a nice fat submarine right there. Oh, he pinged too late. What? Not all is lost there. There's the noisemakers again. Variants detected in track 7021 and 7022 from the sonar buoy. That's the noisemakers there. So we do have a very good idea what's going on. He's trying to dive away. At full speed. Come on, Torp. Go in your search pattern, please. Not going that well. Over here, we still have a Victor that's doing its death animation. I'm gonna pop another torpedo in there. See if we can actually get him. If not, I'm gonna kick him out of existence using the dev tool. Not the most fancy way to go about it, but it is a way to at least get rid of the sub. And seeing as I've already hit the guy, I'm gonna consider that a win. Standard to all ahead 1/3. We're getting multiple hostile contacts. Probably sonar buoys. That's the Torp. They're heading to 60 feet. Passing 60 feet, but the sub's at 40 feet. Yeah, I think he's going to be invincible again. I am still on stable 60, as you can see top right hand side. He's doing 70 feet. And diving. What is 7027? That's the ferry and detecting something. It also seems that the lines are sometimes disappearing, because I believe that there was another contact over here. But we kind of lost it. Yeah, look at him. Okay. I'll just eliminate that guy from the board. He's no longer combat effective. He's essentially dead. As for over here, we have a torpedo circling. But we're having some difficulty finding that Victor between all the debris of his noisemakers. Look at him go. This is not accurate. The noisemakers are here, 26, 27. So he has moved on to about there. Give me an overfly with the MAD. We're going to use the magnetic anomaly detector to find this guy. What I'm surprised about is that there's nothing going on in the north. But again, I have barely transited much, but... Okay, go to below the layer. Increase the all ahead standard. We're going to do a bit of sprint and drifting with the Baltimore now.
On station.
That's the semi-dead Victor. So I should be looking here. Interesting. I'm not getting him. Give me a Sona boy. We do have 2 more Mark 48s in the area. And a Sona boy, but there's so much noise getting created by all of these noisemakers, which are basically drawing a big arrow like, hey, I'm over here somewhere. But yeah, those Torps are having a very difficult time finding anything. Boy away. And there he is. Right next to him. Nice work. Alright, guys, I'm going to pause it here. The next part of this video, we're going to hunt this Victor into extinction. And we're going to try and finally find something over in the north. Because I believe that this area is not empty. I don't believe that one bit. So we'll just have to search for it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on this sort of split mission, multi-mission operation. Looking forward to seeing your comments down below. And again, if you want to play it for yourself by the time that Sea Power is out, you can. It is linked down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for the next part.